So what the fuck is up, y'all? It's Crazy McCormick up in this motherfucking bitch here on Juggalo a Day, bitch. It's kind of interesting how I open up every single one of my episodes. And it's basically that. For some reason, I have to say that every time. It's embedded into me. And that actually made me think about what we could talk about with this week's topic is stigmas and stigmas within the Juggalo community. More specifically, trying to think about the people on the outside looking in and whether or not they take a look at us and think, okay, well, you have to be a Juggalo in order to do that. You know, you need to do this to be a Juggalo, this, that, and the other. So it's, you know, the topic of the day ended up actually being, you know, are there certain stigmas that go on in the Juggalo community? And I personally think that it varies from city to city. Because apparently everybody who lives in a big city tends to think that they're the number one spot of Juggalos. And this has been said time and time again. But here in Grand Rapids, a lot of the Juggalos that I've come across over the years living here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I've come to find that there is somewhat of a stigma within the Juggalo community. I don't know if it's done on purpose or not, but from what I've gathered, it just seems that a lot of Juggalos in my city tend to want to just stay on an even plane for the rest of their lives and don't want to improve, don't want to advance, they don't want to evolve into something bigger and something better for themselves or for people surrounding them, or hell, even their own families. And before I continue on, I do want to apologize for if there's any noise in the background. It's currently raining. But at the time that I've decided to record this, it got dark really quick. And on top of that, I know that there's a lot of shakiness. I ended up putting my phone on a different fucking mount in my car. But to continue along with this, you know, a lot of the stigmas that I've seen within the Juggalo community are just basically people who want to act like fucking ghetto trash. Now, you know, I can understand if it's like a thing or something like that you do in high school, maybe in your early 20s, but once you start getting into your late 20s, 30s, 40s, and shit like that, it's time to fucking grow up. You've lived your fucking prime, and it's time to fucking grow up and be a little bit more responsible. And, you know, don't look so fucking messed up. There's a lot of people who end up coming onto this thinking that, well, you know, apparently since I'm a Juggalo, I gotta be a druggie. And it's, you know, to me, that's kind of the incorrect mindset. I just don't understand where these people fucking come from in this situation. And it doesn't really matter to me. I've found that it doesn't really matter if they have a good job, have a bad job, have no fucking job. Most of them tend to look like they have no fucking job. And the vast majority of the people that I've met tend to all have shitty jobs. Like, there's one guy that I can think of off the top of my head as of right now who lives in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And he works for MLive.com. You know, for security's sake, I'm just not even going to put out his fucking real name. But there's one Juggalo out there that I know for a fact works for the Grand Rapids Press, and he's a really chill guy. Makes good money, doesn't look like a slob, fucking has, you know, he has a good house, he has good kids, he's got his wife, and he's also a fucking rapper. Not necessarily a fucking Juggalo rapper, but he does kind of have the incentive quality of a Juggalo rapper to have somewhat of a gimmick. He doesn't spit Juggalo this, that, and the other, but his music is very meticulous and it is very thought-provoking. It's just gimmick-wise by nature in the Juggalo community to have that kind of a persona for a rap artist. And he does provide that, but other than that, you know, the dude's living a good life. You know, I myself, I work for Uber, and I feel that this is an improvement in the quality of my income as opposed to any of the jobs that I've worked at previously. Working in factories was another good standpoint in my life when I when I finally grew up and decided that this is what I needed to do in order to improve. And since then, I have not stopped. But there are a lot of Juggalos that are out there that purposefully make themselves to look rather fucking crummy. And that's one of the stigmas that I've found. And those basically have been the most annoying ones. These are the same type of people where, look, every summer we have a little thing in Rosa Parks Circle downtown in Grand Rapids called Blues in the Mall. And a lot of these Juggalos that I'm talking about would actually attend this shit. But they would think it would be funny to cause a ruckus, start fights, even throw Faygo at random passersby that aren't even fucking Juggalos. And they think it's funny to do this type of shit in public. And it's like, the fuck, dude? You know, I hate to throw this at you, and I hate to say this, but that is kind of one of those situations where it's like you're making the rest of us who are trying to show a good name for the Juggalo community to look bad. And I don't like that. I guess this is, in a way of me saying, look, I am above that. There is nothing wrong with showing a little bit of maturity and not acting like a fucking relentless dumbass. And to be totally honest, some of the things that I have seen, like, I mean, I get it. In a sense, I can get it. When it concerns these type of people, they really are showing that no fucks are given, and that is truly one of the main things about being a Juggalo, is that, you know, we're proud of who we are, we don't give a fuck what everybody else thinks. But isn't there a certain point in your life when you actually want to improve who you are and not just become another stigma to the outside world in the Juggalo community? As hypocritical as that sounds, and believe me, I realize that that sounds pretty hypocritical the moment I finish saying that. You know, we don't give a fuck what other people think, but it might be a good idea to actually try to improve our lives, to show other people that we're no less than them. You know, if we in the Juggalo community think that we are so much better than everybody else that's out there, who looks out, you know, who are from the outside looking in and seeing something that they don't like, I'm not saying change into them, but to show that they actually are looking at us in an incorrect manner. And something that I think we ought to think about as a whole in the Juggalo community. You know, don't try to remain stagnant into the position that you're at. Try to do whatever you can to improve the quality of your own personal life and see how that works out for you. I know that there are a lot of juggalos that are out there that have that same mind frame, where they want to become better than what they were before. They want to evolve. You know, they want to evolve rather than de-evolve, or just to remain, you know, centered in that plateau. I mean, take a look at Elliot419 as an example. Like, he's not here anymore on YouTube, but when he was there, he was going to college, he was working in construction, you know, and ever since then, you know, he has been gone, and I'm sure that he has improved in whatever it is that he was doing. Whatever it was that he was going into college for, that's probably what he's doing right now, and he doesn't have time for making petty YouTube videos slamming on haters and dumbass motherfuckers. But it's something to think about. But for now, I'm going to close out. Tune in tomorrow. You'll see Mac and Hose. And to everybody that participated in viewing our live stream last night, thank you. Much appreciated. We're going to continue doing things next week, and we're going to try to do whatever we can to improve our live show. Till next time, I'm Crazy McCormick, and I'm out this bitch. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Juggalo a Day, and everybody that is part of it and affiliated with it, including Carnival Spirits. Alright, I'm out this bitch. Peace.